and running. So there are more and more different endpoints and platforms where you can play back the content. Now moving into the section of the Samsung slides, and so Samsung has also been heavily involved in the IAMF, the standard development, and they were the first one to implement the support in the TV user in the Samsung TV devices. And one question when it comes to the TV playback is to how do you maintain the creative intent from the studio to the actual end users and consumers. So one way to sort of utilize the features in the IAMF is this time variant metadata. So basically it means that you could label, for example, the content type, the scene types, say dialogue, FX, music, and you could also label the sort of the spatial distribution of your audio sources in the file. For example, in some content types, you might use the height channels quite heavily to sort of get a more immersive experience and things like that. So how does this work in the device side then? So with the IAMF, you can do this dynamic downmixing with this time variant metadata I was just mentioning. And as an example here on the right bottom corner, the Samsung TVs they support 3.1.2 speaker layout. So you basically have left, center, right on the bottom side, and then you have 2 height speakers. So when the original content, let's just say that it's a movies, it could be also music, often it's done in the studio and it's mixed against 7.1.4 system. Obviously that speaker layout is totally different what you have on the TV side. So with this dynamic downmixing and this time variant metadata, what you can do is when you're decoding and rendering a downmixing to the 3.1.2, you could apply sort of like a balance between the, for example, the different speakers. So let's just say that you have a dialogue heavy sort of a scene. You could do sort of automatic dialogue boosting on the playback side, or if you have content which is heavily using, for example, the height channels for the more immersive experience, you could also adjust the loudness balance and push more towards the height speakers to give a more immersive experience for the end users. So how does this work in practice? So Samsung carried out subjective tests with the professional listeners, and the results indeed show that this method they apply on the TV, so it does improve the experience. So for example, the dialogue channel is suddenly more audible. There's a clear improvement there. But also for the spatial content, you get more, or you get better directionality and localization of the sound sources when applying this method during the playback time. So like I said, Samsung supports, for the first one to support the IAMF decode and playback on the TV. So all of the Samsung 2025 TVs and soundbars support IAMF. So you can go and buy the latest TV and soundbar, you'll get the IAMF experience. Basically how this works, for example, with the YouTube player app on a TV side. So the Cobalt engine, which is the HTML5 engine that YouTube TV player builds on top of, you basically get the MP4 stream from the YouTube streaming. The Cobalt engine basically demuxes and parses out the IAMF bit stream and passes that down to the hardware layer for the decoding. In the case of Samsung, they implement the audio decoding and the rendering in the audio DSP. And what they were telling is that the IAMF decoding and rendering actually is less complex than some of the alternatives in the market today for spatial audio. So the audio DSP does all the decoding and then produces a PCM signal for the playback, either through the TV speakers or soundbar, or actually a combination of both. Some of the Samsung TVs have this like a playback mode where you can use both the TV speakers and the soundbar speakers when you're playing back the content. Samsung is also working on adding the IMF support in their mobile tablets. The tablets have 4 speakers, so and similar to the technique I was talking about earlier, you can use the 4 speakers, the top speakers, to create an immersive experience when you're playing back the content from 4 speakers on the tablet side. So this is under works, and it's coming from Samsung as well. All right, so this is my last slide. I do have a demo with me. I have an Android Exaplayer build that supports IMF decoding and binary rendering for the headphones. So when we go into the break, coffee break, lunch break, just come to see me. I'll give you the demo, and you get to try it out how it sounds. All right, thank you.
We still have a few minutes for some questions, if there's any question from the room. Maybe I'm curious about this question. What do you feel about the rollout of this feature on TVs? If you want to speak up.
Yeah. So I guess the first question, of course, is like why TVs first? Honestly, when it comes to the immersive audio experiences, speaker layouts are really the best way to experience that. But oftentimes, I mean, for example, this is a photo of 7.1.4 system that you see in the studios. We rarely have that at home. I don't. but the TV and the sound bar and together with the 2 rear speakers, does really give you like a really good experience. And what this has of course been a long project, first to develop the IMF standard itself, but then working together with the YouTube and Samsung to roll this out. I think we are in a really good place when it comes to the actual quality of the experience. If you ever have a chance, and actually if you're ever going to be in the Mountain View or in the Bay Area, we have a system up and running there. Come see us to experience it yourself. But this original notion I was talking about, like maintaining the creative intent from the studio all the way to the end user device, I think we are really close. And we have been working with a lot of creators, especially on the music space, and just getting the sort of the credit from them that yes, the sound system it does deliver what it's supposed to deliver. It gives us a good confidence that we are getting there. Of course, we need more TV vendors to support the IMF that's coming, and then of course we want to expand the web and mobile as well, so that you can play the content anywhere.
Any more questions from the audience? If not, thanks for speaking.
Thank you.